I've been quite busy getting into graduate school, submitting my applications and such, but those are all submitted. I have enough material for about 3 more videos, and this one is going to center on one location that I did particularly well at. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you guys to another business I've been setting up, which is selling ancient coins. Now, a lot of people think that ancient artifacts in general, from ancient Rome specifically, are extremely expensive and out of their reach. Little do a lot of people know, coins of famous emperors, such as Nero there in the center, or Augustus on the right, are extremely affordable. In fact, under $200, and on occasion under $100. So I'm going to put links in the description to some of my coins for sale, and I hope you might peruse them and find something you might like.
At a late 1800s, early 1900s school, and this was built, well, the land was donated by one of my ancestors. Quite honestly, I'm not sure who built it, but these are friends of ours. They fly airplanes, and my brother is a pilot and trained with him, so they're pretty good family friends. And as you can see from the amount of turned up dirt clods, this has been quite a productive site. And interestingly enough, she said that she had one other person stop in from the road relatively recently and go around, and he couldn't find a thing. So I never get too put off when people tell me that it's been done before, because you never know whether it was somebody who bought one the day before and wanted to try it out somewhere, or if it's someone who's been in there for a long time. This is a 1903 Indian. Not bad, I'll get it cleaned up. A little bit away in the schoolyard, and we can see where this had been sitting. And this is a 1903 Indian. You're going to sense a pattern coming up soon. But this is another 1903 Indian head penny, but I never complain about my Indians. Essentially right in front of the schoolhouse. Looks like we got another coin here. And this one is a 1903 Indian. Yeah, this is the third one, and it was the first 3 coins I dug. I thought maybe somebody was playing a joke on me or something. But like I said, I'll take 1903 Indians all day. Right over from my last hole, you might be able to see it right there. And got another one here. Another Indian head. And I believe we broke our 1903 streak, and this is a 1907. Very nice coin. Maybe, I can't really tell through all the dirt. Just a couple feet over from the 1907. And we got quite a shiny nickel. And there's a P above the building, so we know it's a war nickel. And it looks like the date is 1945. Not bad at all. To the side here. Got another penny. I must say this yard is extremely clean. Very few new coins. So basically, if you get a signal, it's going to be something old, it's going to be something good. There's not a lot of trash. It's pretty much a dream come true. This one, I know it's an Indian head. There's the date, 1900 even. Very good. Closer to the front porch, and we got ourselves a buffalo. Now I can't tell a thing on the other side. Don't even know there's an Indian there, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a date off this. We know that buffaloes can be pretty sketchy, but we certainly know it's a buffalo. One kind of threw me for a loop. I was getting a 77 signal, and remember what I always say about digging your penny signals. You gotta do it. You just gotta dig your penny signals. And a little piece of silver popped out. And it looks like we have a half dime. Now, I believe it is a Canadian half dime. They might call them 5-cent pieces. I'm not terribly good with Canadian money, but you can see the 5 right there. It's very worn on the back. Don't know why it's so worn, but 1920 is the date. And we have a beautiful portrait of King George on the front. King George the Fifth, I believe this is. First halftime. Would rather it was American, but I'll take it. And the only piece of silver out of this yard, but what can you expect for a schoolhouse? Kids weren't that rich.
The picture of the half dime next to a mercury dime for a size comparison. It was in 1920 when I finally got it home. They stopped making them in 1922.
More luck at this school, and the wind's pretty high, so I don't know how the sound quality is. I might have to redo the audio on some of this, but good luck. Mostly lower tone stuff today. I cleaned out most of the high tones before, but we're still getting good turn of the century stuff here. There's a 1911 V-nickel. This is my third V-nickel, and first V-nickel out of the site. Again, don't have it cleaned up, but we can see the V, we can see the 1911. It's a pretty good coin. Sad what the ground does to nickels, but history is history. This is the next find at the schoolhouse, ringing really low. 74, 75 before I got it up. And it looks like we're hitting that turn of the century just perfectly with a 1900 Indian head penny. There's a baseball field here, and I'm trying to position this out of the wind. Not sure how much wind noise I'm getting, but here we have a 1916 Buffalo. Now I know one of those is worth an outrageous amount of money. I'm sure it's not this one. I couldn't see mint mark on the back. I'm not sure about the legs, but it's good to get a date off them. I always like to get buffaloes with dates.
I said baseball field in the last video. I should point out that the side of the school was used as a baseball field for the school as well as the community, so it is the same site.
Over here again, the signals are really close together. Getting a lot of stuff out of here. Certainly can't complain. And it looks like here we have a 1919 Buffalo. Now, 1919 is a relatively common year, but a Buffalo's a Buffalo. We get to what is by far the oldest coin I've gotten on this property, and it is not a penny, which is nice. Looks like an 1884 V-nickel.
See if I can get the sun to shine on that.
1884. I'll have to clean it off, see how much details on it. But 1884, can't complain with that. 29 years old. Still at the school here, and I got a little bit of a tricky signal.
And it turned out to be a very cute 1902 Indian head penny.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little detecting lesson here, and a lesson I just learned. So you see that I have it on coins mode, so it's blocking out between about 55 and 60. I have the headphones on the iPad, so hopefully you'll be able to hear this. But okay, so we're going over this. And you can see it's ringing up about a 59, and there's no noise whatsoever. So if we run full, like I was doing for some reason, we see that is a very solid signal. And what had I been missing because I was running in coins mode? These two nickels, which rang up higher than usual because they were sitting on top of each other. Now one is an 1895 V-nickel, and one is, I believe it was a 1917, not 100%, let me see if I can see real quick. Yeah, it's a 1917 Buffalo. So I missed an 1895 and a 1917 coin because I wasn't running in full mode.
Thank goodness I was today. But that's a little lesson for you. You might want to put it in full mode, especially if you have a very good old site.
The Schoolhouse has been relatively low on silver, and I got a 83 signal bouncing between 82 and 85 in the ground, which is a good silver dime. It came up in 82 when I got it up. And we'll see what this is. Most of the stuff has been turn of the century, so it'd be very nice if this was a turn of the century mercury dime. I can see it's a mercury dime from the face on the front, but I can't see what date it is. Turn of the century, could it be a 1916D? Could be, most likely not though. $1935. And I don't see a mint mark. Looks to be relatively warm, but not terrible. In front of the Schoolhouse here, and I got another, this was a really, really deep nickel signal.
And I got it up, and I believe that says 1913, although it's difficult to see. I'll probably have to clean it up and see if I can get more detail on it. But I believe that's a 1913. And that is must be the first year of issue. I'm thinking maybe it might not be a 1913 because I don't know if they made them that early. Should be a little better on my Buffaloes, but apparently I'm not.
Right here by the front entrance of the school, and it looks like there we have AD 1884. So I'm going to guess that's probably when it was built.
And we have another nickel. Now, you usually don't get many nickels. Probably get a lot of nickels here because around the turn of the century, the most money that a child in school would have on them would probably be a nickel. Silver money, of course, was worth quite a bit back then. I believe that's 1926, if I can read that correctly. Not bad for a day.
In front of the Schoolhouse door, essentially, I got a signal at about 4 inches. It was about a 52, which is our nickels, and we seem to love our nickels here.
And we got another buffalo. This is about the 8th buffalo out of this school. And this one is a 1936. Looks to be in good shape, not terribly corroded. We'll see how it cleans up.
That thick of trees is the schoolhouse that I've been getting all the nickels at. As you can see, we're in the middle of farm field nowhere. And I got a penny signal, I dug it up and it was a wheat penny. Then I got another signal and it was a nickel signal. And of course, when you find a penny in a hole and there's a nickel signal after it, it's very likely a nickel. And this time it was.
We got ourselves a buffalo. I believe the last number is 6, so it could be 1926, 1916, 1936, somewhere in that range.
Right in front of the school, and I got a deep high tone, somewhere around a 71, 72, somewhere in there. And I dug it up, and it was a pretty good Indian head penny signal. And that's just what we got. Nice green patina on that one.
And I believe that's a 1903. It's a little running joke here that all the Indian head pennies I get are 1903. The school was established in 1884, so it'd be nice to get some early 1800s ones, but an Indian's an Indian.
What they say, if you're not willing to climb under a tree in the beginning of November for a dime, you probably have better sense than me. But at any rate, back at the schoolhouse, I got a 83 signal, pretty deep in the ground, and I brought it up, and there's a dime somewhere. I guarantee it. Here it is.
Looks to me like a Merc. We'll pop that out of there. And it is a unknown Merc. Merc overboard. Merc overboard. 1941? And I don't see a mint mark. I don't think so. But at any rate, good find.
I'm sure some people are going to be curious about my nickel cleaning procedure. I found this just recently. As you can see, they have that dark purple color on them when you take them out of the ground, and they look a lot better as nickels. A lot of people think they're pennies or don't know what they are when they're dark purple, and we want them to be a silvery color. Now, the best way to do that is to put it in a solution of vinegar with a couple teaspoons of salt stirred in, and I leave them in there for 2 hours, possibly more if the coin needs more. It pits them a little, and I'm sure if it was a valuable coin, it'd degrade the value. But as for coins that I'm trying to display that I found, I want them to look as natural in color as I can, even if I lose a little bit of the detail in the process. I'd make visual displays, and it needs to stand out visually.